Hi friend, welcome to Live with Ease. My name is Julia, and today I invite you in a sun salutation practice on your backs. So in a supine position, we are going to take some of the traditional sequencing and positions or poses that we take in sun salutation on our backs and kind of get creative, have fun and play. And this will invite freeing up of that lower body, the lower spine, our hips, releases the upper back, and also can open up the front or the heart center. So please get into your yoga cozies, get outside if you can, if it's a beautiful day where you are, and let's take our practice outside, salute the sun, because I don't want it to go. All right, see you on the mat soon. All right, so let's get started resting back, getting nice and comfortable in your supine position here. Take a few moments to just allow the body to surrender over to the earth. Maybe connecting that exhalation, breathing out through the mouth, and each time you exhale, just surrender each part of the body that's making contact. Let it sink, let it fall. One more. And we'll carry over this technique, this little exhalation, surrendering the body throughout our practice today. Okay, so why don't we start with the first piece of sun salutation while we're standing, but we're obviously doing it in the supine position. And we'll bring our hands, palms of the hands together in prayer position, gasho, to the heart center. And as we inhale, we're going to send the arms up above the head. Lengthen the legs and arms away from each other. Again, these are going to be variations. And then exhale, surrender. Taking the arms back down by the side. Again, inhale. Lengthen the body, lengthen the limbs away from each other. Big stretch. Exhale, surrender, release the body. One more. Good, and this time as you exhale, why don't we draw the legs into the abdomen. So this is mimicking in a version of sun salutation that I like to take is that standing back bend and then rolling down into a forward bend and then rolling back up. And so moving up and down the spine a few times. So that's what we'll do. So little boat, as we draw the legs into the abdomen, is kind of like the forward fold. And if you want, you can, if you keep the neck nice and relaxed, you can draw the head up and then release the feet back on the ground. Inhale, send the arms up above the head, lengthen the limbs, big breath in. Exhale, surrender. Draw the legs in. Good. Let's try this a few more times. Good. One more. So this is standing back bend as I lengthen my limbs. And a forward fold as I draw the legs into the abdomen. Good. And what we can add here is bridge for our lengthening component. So I can, excuse me, I'm just gonna fix this. And we're back. So this time, when you release the legs to the ground, you're gonna keep the feet in contact. Exhale, roll up into bridge. That's gonna be your lengthening piece. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen the pelvis away from the skull, skull away from pelvis. Exhale, lower, and hug the legs in. Again, trying this a few times. Inviting that nice big exhalation through the mouth. Good. Nice. And then the next sequence of movement is going to be lunge. So you're going to keep that left leg hugged in and extend that right leg on the ground. So we're going to do some variations of lunging on our back. So with the left leg hugged in, you can take a bit of a jostle. If you want to take hold behind the legs and add a little bit of circling. Make sure you circle both ways. Good. And here's a nice little variation or how I can mimic lunge more closely to when it's flipped over with the feet on the ground, is taking a bit of a 90-degree angle of the knee and sending the soles of the feet up to the sky or the ceiling, depending where you are, if you're outside or inside. Yeah, so finding, if you can, that 90-degree angle. And what might help here too, you can always rest your pelvis on a bolster to add a little bit of elevation of the ground. So elevating the pelvis so that the leg falls towards you a little easier. You can also bend that lower leg. So we want to keep that leg that's drawn in nice and relaxed. Find that 90-degree angle. And on an in-breath, I can inhale, slightly take the leg away. Exhale, keep that 90-degree bend, draw the leg in. Exhale, drop the pelvis. Good. And maybe on this round, if it's accessible, you can take hold of the outside of the foot. If you want to use a strap over the bottom of the foot, you can do that as well. But what you're going to do on that exhalation as you drop the pelvis is soften the hip and let that knee fall out to its side or just to the side of the torso. Good. Inhale. Good. One more. Nice. And just to counteract that hip flexion, you can let that left leg rest on the ground. We're going to take half bridge. So exhale, pressing that left foot, rolling towards that right side. I do have one whole video based on, or a video based on half bridge here. So I'll add that into the box below for you to take a look at if you want that posture broken down a little more. So rolling in and out a few times. Good, just to invite a bit of that hip extension. Nice. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. And then let's switch legs. So drawing that right leg in, extending that left leg along the ground or keep it bent, your choice. Add a bit of jostling. A gentle jostle. And then circle one way and then the other. Good. And then let's find that 90-degree angle. So taking the sole of the foot up to the heavens, up towards the ceiling, whatever suits you best here. And on an in-breath, I'm going to slightly take the thigh away from the torso. And as I exhale, really breathe out through the mouth, surrender the pelvis, upper body to the earth. Softening the hip and drawing the leg a little closer. So I'm not yanking and pulling it so hard. I'm just moving in these micro movements with the breath, with the dropping of the pelvis, the weight of the body falling. So it softens the musculature around the bones at the joints. Let's take one more in this position. Good, and then this time if you want to take hold of the outside of the foot or add a strap, your choice. And exhale, let the leg fall to the side of the torso. Good, 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 good. And then let's release that foot onto the ground. exhale, ground that right foot, press and peel and roll towards the left side, keeping the trajectory of the knee moving towards the toes or over the toes. Yeah, so that I really embrace that opening in the front of the hip, that extension, so I'm not collapsing either in or out, straight forward. And really play with that lengthening of the tailbone and pelvis away from the skull, or you can think of the knee away from the skull and upper body. Good. One more here. Nice, nice, nice. All right. Now we move into downward dog. So again, this is slightly different than the pattern you would do standing, but it's the same, similar sequencing, yeah? And again, we're mimicking and seeing if we can find the same movements on our back. It's quite fun and creative and playful. And you can always, if there's a movement that inspires you within this flow, then please take it on. Listen to your body. You know you best. Okay, so from here, we'll find our downward dog on our back. It's kind of like a helpless puppy, a fallen puppy, a fallen and I can't get up. Or submissive, we can say a submissive dog, submissive puppy. That's what we could call this posture. I like that better. Okay, so bringing the limbs up towards the ceiling or to the sky, yeah, and seeing if you can find or feel for the connection of the back of the pelvis and the ground, the back of the shoulder blades and shoulders and skull, and letting the limbs kind of drop into the earth, feeling weighted. It feels so weighted and heavy that it almost gives you a sense of lightness and a sense of floating. So that's what we want to feel here, floaty limbs. You can add in some circling of the ankles, the wrists. Yeah. Figure eights. If you want to take the feet a little, and legs and arms, sorry, wide, and then cross. Good. Yeah, so it kind of gives us a similar shape to puppy here. But we can find that nice soft spine with the feedback of the ground. So when we go to do a downward dog, our body is prepared for that lengthening piece, the softness in the spine. So we're not overstretching and overworking. Okay? And then on an in-breath, let's lengthen the limbs up towards the heavens. Peel that shoulders off. And as you exhale, let those pieces drop into the earth, connect to the earth. So back of the pelvis, back of the shoulders. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, release. Really feeling the difference between when I'm slightly engaging. So when I engage and lengthen, I'm not jamming my knees or elbows and locking things up. I'm just feeling for length, that the limbs are lengthening away from the torso connection. So creating space in the joint, and then let it release. Good. Nice. And then from here to take a variation of three-legged dog. We can do big leg stretches, and this will, in this position, kind of wake up and warm up the back of the legs a little bit and prep us for when we're flipped over in downward dog and raise one leg up towards the ceiling. So again, the three-legged dog. So here, I'm going to keep that left leg up towards the skies and lower my right leg on the ground. Again, you can place a bolster under your pelvis if you'd like for this portion. You can keep that bottom knee bent, whatever you choose. You can also add a strap around the foot. Okay, so many options here. And before we go into just yanking that leg towards you, I really want you to take a moment to, on that in-breath, feel the pelvis connection to the earth. And then as you exhale, let it fall, let it sink, And as you let the weight of the pelvis fall, the thigh muscles, hip flexors start to soften, and you can draw the leg a little closer towards you. You could take this in little increments. So again, inhale, take the leg slightly away, feel the pelvis connection. Exhale, drop, lengthen, and draw the leg towards you. Good. Lovely. And then the same thing, we can take the leg out to its own side. And I also want to mention that we want to keep that upper body nice and connected and dropped in and soft as well. So we're not tensing up in the upper body. We're keeping it heavy, dropped, soft. So if it helps to use a strap, please do. If it helps relax and soften the upper body. So again, to the side, I can take that same intention, breathing into the pelvis connection, the upper back connection. Exhale, drop, soften, and lower the leg. Hopefully my sound isn't getting cut off here. So again, dropping both sides of the pelvis, both shoulder blades. Awesome. And then let's take the leg back to the center, and same thing as you cross the leg over the body, drop the pelvis, drop the upper body, soften the hip flexors, soften the thighs. So I'm not engaging everything to stretch. I want to stretch and lengthen on soft tissue, soft muscles. This adds longevity. Yeah. Releasing tension. Good. And then back to the center, and as a counter pose, if you'd like, you can take keyhole, turning that leg, that left leg out at the hip joint, resting the outside of the foot, ankle or shin on the thigh of the right leg, and then drawing the leg in. If you want to take a little bit of a rock side to side, you can. Drop, 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 drop the pelvis, drop the skull, drop the upper back into the earth. Mama Earth's got you. She's got you. So let her support you. Surrender to her support. Good. Awesome. Sending both legs up to the ceiling if you want to give them a bit of a shake. Let's take that right leg now, keeping that right leg up, lower the left leg. Again, use a strap, bolster, whatever you choose. Take a moment before you draw yourself into that big, big stretch. Take a moment to feel the body's connection to the earth. Feel the weight of the bones sinking deeper into the ground so that this, again, the musculature around the bones can start to soften. Exhale, release, and draw. Good. Inhale away. Yes. Lovely. And then if you'd like, you can take that right leg out to its own side. Take pause, feel the pelvis dropping. So as you take that leg out to the side, watch you don't roll over like so. See if you can keep both sides of the pelvis in contact with the earth, or at least allow the direction of the left side of the pelvis to fall towards the earth. So so that we're really creating that opening in the hips, in the front of the pelvis, yeah. Opening in the abdomen, the heart center, the upper back, Lovely. And then same thing, let's take the leg, cross the body over to the other side. Again, can I, rather than roll completely, over, letting the leg go completely over, which is not bad or wrong. It's just different. It's more of a twist. But if we want to really get into the legs, if I consider with the breath and my mind sending that right side of the pelvis towards the earth, as I cross the leg over, you really start to get right into that IT band. Woo, Nelly. And outside of the pelvis. Good. Beauty, beauty, beautiful. You are all so beautiful. I don't know where that came from, but it came from somewhere. I just feel like singing. I feel like it's been a long time. So you're all gonna have to just listen. Okay, enough of that. Let's bring the right leg back to the center. Good. And sending both legs up to the ceiling. Give them a good shake. So the next portion is moving into a basically child's pose and cobra. So I can hug my legs here, mimicking child. One version of cobra to extend in both of the hips is to move from child's to bridge. Once again, we did this a little earlier in the practice. So please give that another go and maybe take note of whether anything feels different in your experience of bridge and little boat this time around versus when you first introduced it into the practice. Keep that nice, gentle breathing. Wonderful, it's wonderful. Good. And this time when you go into bridge, or when you arrive into bridge, just take note of, as you peel, feeling that tailbone, lower spine, middle spine start to peel, and you're starting to get into that thoracic spine, into that upper back. So the next position, another way we can take a variation of cobra is fish. So if I think about, because I want to highlight that thoracic spine, if I continue my bridge and on my peel, I'm going to start to send that thoracic spine, the part of the spine between the shoulder blades, peeling it off, sending it into the body. Energy goes up the neck and out the back of the skull, or up the top and back of the skull. So one way I can practice this is in fish. Yeah, so I just want to take a moment for you to highlight that thoracic, because it's very important for back bending. That's what's going to save your lower back. So if I have my arms up towards the ceiling or sky and I'm in bridge, feel the weight of that chest and upper spine grounding. That's your thoracic. That's what I want to start to focus on, coming into the body, lengthening up. Energy goes up the spine, up the neck, and out and up the back of the skull, okay? So as I move into fish, what I'm going to do is, keeping the knees bent, soles of the feet on the ground, I'm just going to lift the pelvis up just ever so slightly, and I'm going to place my palms on the ground and the back of the palms under the pelvis, so that my pelvis then sits and rests on the back of my palms. And my elbows and forearms, I'm going to start to draw towards each other. Yeah. And then I can let my legs lengthen. And then from here, as I exhale, I'm going to press my hands, forearms, elbows into the ground. And imagining, again, if I'm peeling up into bridge, this is the part where when I get to that thoracic spine, I'm starting to peel the thoracic off the ground. Energy goes up, up, up the spine, up the neck, and out the back of the skull. So you can move in and out of this a few times. Exhale, ground, peel. Feel the peel and the drawing of energy up the spine, up the neck, the back of the skull, and out, so that I don't get too crunchy. And you can tell if you're compressing in the spine, in the lower spine, or anywhere in the spine. If as you do this, your breathing gets cut off, it gets cut off like this, then you're restricting the breath or compressing the spine in some way. So another way I can play with lengthening that lower spine is as I press my hands, elbows, and forearms into the ground, I'm going to slide my hands, or almost think of maybe the back of the pelvis sliding down, down, down. So I'm using my hands to help guide the pelvis down and away from the upper body and skull. So I'm creating this opposing lengthening here. Well, that's what lengthening is, the opposing direction. So lower body, pelvis is lengthening away, moving away from the skull, skull away from the pelvis. Good. Excellent. And then to counteract that, you can draw the legs into the abdomen. Very nice. Very, very good. All right. So why don't we do that whole sequence a little more quickly now that I went through each phase or each position or sequence or section. And you'll start to feel things open up the second round. At least I hope you do. So we'll move a little more quickly. So let's lower the legs onto the ground, drawing the hands up the center of the body. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Exhale. Arms down, hands up. This time let's hug the legs into a little boat. Rock gently side to side if you'd like. Good. And then this time, lowering the legs, lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Exhale, ground, draw the legs in. And then we're going to lower the feet to bridge. Let's take one or two rolling up and bridge and little boat. Beautiful motorcycle. Great. I don't know if you can hear it in my mic. Good. One more. Bridge. Excellent. This time, as you draw the legs in, let's keep that right leg drawn in. Lengthen the left. Again, add in the bolster at any point or strap. Jostle that right leg. Give it a bit of a circling. Good. And then let's find that 90-degree angle. Inhale away. Exhale, draw. This time, let's take hold of the outer foot. Exhale, lower the leg to the side of the torso. Good. Inhale slightly away. Exhale, lower. Awesome. Let's lower the foot. Find your half bridge. Roll in and out maybe one or two times. Oh, are you starting to feel that lower spine and the hips, the whole spine start to wake up, free up? Good. And then leaving your right foot where it is, draw that left leg in if you want to extend that right leg. Add that jostling with the left leg. Let's circle. And then the other way. Nice. Let's find that 90-degree angle. Inhale away, exhale, lower. Inhale away, exhale, lower. Take hold of the outside of the foot and lower that leg to the outside of the torso. Oh, that feels so good. Hopefully that feels good for you. Really invite the breath and the surrendering of the weight of the body. Good, good, good. Awesome. Lower that left leg. Find your half bridge here. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Beautiful. Good. Let's hug the legs in and find our downward dog. limbs up towards the ceiling, our submissive dog, I should say, rather than downward dog. Circling the ankles, take the legs wide and cross. Awesome. And then let's keep that right leg up towards the ceiling. Lower the left leg. If you need the strap, add it in. Yeah, take those moments to really connect the pelvis and the skull and upper back so that we can find the softness as we draw the leg towards you. Good, and then take it out to its own side. There's always, even in the stillness, there's never just dead stillness. There's always movement, whether it's the breath flowing or just little micro movements of dropping and lengthening. Good. And let's cross the leg over. Lovely. And if you want to take a little keyhole as counter pose, just to get a little more into the outer pelvis. Good. It's a hot one today. I'm definitely saluting the sun. Right in my face. It's beaming down on me. I love it. Good. And then let's switch. Left leg up. Extend the right leg. Take that moment. And then take that leg out to its own side. Good. And then let's cross it over. Good. And then let's find our keyhole. Excellent. And then let's move into our child's to cobra. So variations, I can go into child's holding the legs towards me, so little boat. To bridge. Again, just noticing how the spine, the pelvis, hip feels each time you repeat a movement or sequence. Good. And then if you choose the version where you continue up the spine and get into the thoracic, into fish, to really open up in the heart center. Yeah, as you extend the legs down in fish, just watch they don't flop out. Keep them parallel or slightly inwardly rotated. This will open up the back of the sacrum. Exhale, press, peel, lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Make sure we're not compressing. Lovely. And then draw the legs in. And so if you want to rock a little bit along the spine, just to counteract the supine position, the flexion, the extension. If you want to take the legs all the way over into plow, ooh, that might feel quite lovely. Good. So rolling up and down a few times, transitioning to plow a few times. Just notice how it feels different each time you visit. Plow. Good. And then eventually see if you can, with that momentum, roll yourself to standing without putting your hands on the ground. If you need to, that's okay. If you need to find your own way to standing, that's not as intense, please do. But if we really use the momentum here, exhale, press. Good. And rolling yourself up. Lovely, lovely, lovely. If you want to walk yourself either to the back of the mat or the front of the mat, circling the shoulders. Yeah, let's take the arms up towards the sky, ceiling. Take a little bit of a side bend. One way and then the other side. Moving from side to side a little bit here. Good. And then interlacing or taking hold of the elbows. Just come to the center. And circling the arms, torso. Good. Lovely. Awesome. And then let's release the arms down by the side. If you want to keep the eyes open or close the eyes, let's take a moment to really stand. Feel the energy that you've created with this flow on your back. Feeling your whole footprint grounding into the earth, into your mat. If you want to repeat this mantra to yourself a few times. I stand tall, I stand confident, and embrace whatever the day brings with an open heart. I stand tall, I stand confident, and I embrace whatever the day brings with an open heart. Fantastic. I'll leave you with this final mantra. And before I do, you also have the option of, which I will add to the end of this video, if you want, since your body is nice and warm, you can start to do some of the traditional sun salutation flow from standing. So again, I will put a video after this one for you to jump into if you'd like. But if you're finished your practice for today, you can bring the palms of the hands together to the heart center. Join me for this final mantra, sending the arms, or the hands rather, to the forehead. Think love. To the lips, speak love. To the heart center, be love. Thank you so much for joining me today in this practice. I hope you started to feel a little more openness and freedom in that lower back, the entire spine, your hips, and again, that open heart. All right, friends, be well, stay safe, and be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video, share the channel, share the video to anyone you feel that could use this type of practice in their lives, for their bodies, to wake up their bodies. And also be sure to check out any of my live classes on Zoom in the box below. All right. Be well, take care, and we will see you on the mat very, very soon. Namaste.